starts as this one is underway on EA Sports.
From the 6.
And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback from UCLA. It's Josh Rosen.
And he said he was feeling good in the lead up to the season, and he proved it in a big way in week 1 with 4 touchdown passes. Had the offense moving at peak efficiency right at the start of the year. Awfully impressive.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 77 yards.
That's a good start to the season. They got the win, and they were able to establish a good running game. Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things started, and they expect that to get tuned up and get better as the season moves on.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath, maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early. But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Well, this defense for the Niners, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
They want to go to the air again with Rosen. Looking for Woods again, and he finds him. That catch good for 5. It's third down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing the 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Zadarius Smith able to get him down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Rosen's throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit.
And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. A 10-play drive that time, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. First carry now for Trey Sermon. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. The numbers for Sermon in last week's game: 13 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
Sermon now on 1st and 10. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And now they'll throw with Lance. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over in his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're going louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. Hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. On 1st down, Fletcher, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Rosen's throw caught here by Metcalf. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the 1st quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. 1st quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
On 1st down, it's Rosen. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the 1st drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Here's Rosen to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. 4th down now as San Fran's defense was strong in coverage. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this 1st half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, It's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
2nd and 8 coming up. A play fake for Sermon. Now Lance. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Lance. He finds his target, Beckham. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And his throw here is incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Throwing now is Lance. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Morton. And he is going to have the 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
On 1st down, Lance. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On play action, Lance. Touchdown 49ers! Odell Beckham, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers are back within a score. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, he'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Point after, up and good. And the lead is down to a field goal. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder, Jimmy Ward. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. And, this is Peterson remaining down on the ground and apparently in some pain. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Lance, a give now to Sermon. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Lance looking to throw it. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And they fake the handoff. Now Lance sliding out of the pocket. Going right back to Beckham here, complete. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
And these two hooked up on a nice gain the play before, and I always admire play callers that see a play that works and go right back to it, so they went right back to him. The reward, they're set up with 1st and goal.
Sermon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Trey Sermon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. From the 29, Rosen throwing the out route incomplete. It's Woods. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Rosen off the play action. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
2nd and 10. It's Rosen again. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And the 49ers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily. I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
And they'll run with Sermon to begin the drive. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Off of play action, here's Lance. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. He'll buy some time right. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. And that will be incomplete.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen Hey, third down situation. Big third down alert. Lock in here. Fourth down play. Make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rosen. And Woods has it complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Rosen will throw. Going for it all. And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Point after, right down the middle, and it's now 17-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. A dangerous return man showing it here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here. They've got to find a way to get him more involved in this game plan. Down here in the second quarter, he doesn't even have a catch.
And don't think they're not hearing about it in the huddle and on the sidelines. And we often think of wide receivers at times being disruptive. It's just that they know their talents and they know the type of plays they can make, and they can make big ones. They want the ball to help their team.
Yeah, you got to think he's going to want the ball more. 1 target, no catches.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Lance to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. A final shot before half for Lance. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And once again, the 49ers are back out in front.
Well, someone has a sense of the dramatic here, don't they? Scoring this late in the half to take the lead going into the locker room.
Now they just don't want to misstep misfortune on the next kickoff because there's still a little bit of time left on that clock.
Yeah, you do have to bring that up, don't you? In the NFL, every play is critical. If you give up something cheap there, all that advantage they just gained goes right out the window.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. Kicks it on the ground with a squib, taken around the 28. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point and abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. Taken at the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. Play action, now it's Lance. He completes it to Beckham. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Here's Sherman. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Again with Sherman. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. And they'll run with Sherman. And this time he is in. Trey Sherman, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Niners take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Rosen looking to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Fletcher. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
So holding there on the return, and that'll back them up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
He'll find Sermon out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see them drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Lance. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Yeah, the Niners are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That's a letdown defensively because they had them stacked up 3rd and long, and you know their thought process had to be just make the tackle in front of the sticks and force the 3. Instead, they allowed him room to run.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Trey Sermon taking it in from 4 yards out. And the 49ers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. That time, a 9-play drive. And it was Trey Sermon who polished it all off with a touchdown run. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Woods. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. From the 41, Rosen. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off right around the 43. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point forthcoming. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Taken in at the 3. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Back to the air, Rosen after the pick six. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Here we go. It's Rosen on 4th down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And the return will stop right around the 25. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there. And he winds up giving the ball away.
Lance now on 1st down. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Throwing on 2nd and long. Lance, they set up the screen for Sermon. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. And Lance now to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Pulled in at the 24.
Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around 30.
That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Rosen, and he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. What a catch inside the 5.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Now it's Rosen. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
On 3rd down, it's Fletcher. And the stiff arm proved fruitful for a second, but the daylight quickly snuffed out. It'll be a gain of 5, but they're still left with a long 4th and goal.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. They'll try and throw for it with Rosen. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the 49ers are going to get the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call? Is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I want him now. They tend to leave him in.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. The Lance going to throw.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review of this game. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw as this play will stand as is.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Takes it at the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense.
Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Catch is made by Metcalf. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Now Rosen on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. It's Fletcher.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for San Francisco, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions.